Welcome, friends. Today we enter a teaching that the Buddha described as essential for anyone walking the path of awakening. In Pali, they are called the Panca Nīvaraṇani, the Five Hindrances. These are not enemies, not demons, not signs that you are doing something wrong. Rather, they are the natural storms of the mind. The Buddha compared them to obstacles that block the light of wisdom, like clouds covering the sun. This teaching appears throughout the Pali Canon, in the Satipatthana Sutta as part of mindfulness practice, in the Saṃyutta Nikāya Sutta and Vitakka Santhana Sutta as part of mental training, and in the Bojjhanga Saṃyutta, where the Buddha describes how the hindrances oppose the factors of awakening. Today's talk will explore these hindrances not as abstract ideas, but as living forces that shape our struggles, our emotions, our relationships, and our sense of inner peace. We'll explore them through stories, examples from daily life, and guidance from the Buddha's own words. So let us begin, gently and honestly, as if we are sitting beside the Buddha himself, under the canopy of a still forest, listening to him describe the workings of the mind. What are the five hindrances? The Buddha taught that there are 5 states that, when present, prevent the mind from seeing clearly. Kamacchanda, craving for sense pleasures. Vyapada, ill will, anger, aversion. Thina middha, sloth and torpor. Mental dullness, uddhaka kukuccha, restlessness and remorse. Vicikiccha, doubt, confusion, uncertainty. These 5 are not moral failures. Everyone experiences them. They are simply the natural turbulence of a mind that has not yet been trained. The Buddha compared the mind free of hindrances to a clear lake where you can see to the bottom. But when the hindrances arise, the water becomes disturbed. Craving is like water mixed with bright dyes. Anger is like boiling water. Dullness is like water overgrown with algae. Restlessness is like water whipped by the wind. Doubt is like muddy water stirred again and again. With the water unclear, you cannot see your reflection, nor can you see reality. The whole path of meditation is not about forcing the mind to be calm, but about understanding these hindrances so they slowly lose their power. Let us explore each one. Kamacchanda, sense desire, referenced in Midyard 10, Amend 20, Zen 46. Sense desire is the constant reaching outward. I want this, I need that, I must have more. It is the belief that happiness lies somewhere outside, on a screen, in a relationship, in achievements, in food, in admiration. The Buddha said that sense desire is like being in debt. Even if you obtain what you want, the relief is temporary. You must pay for it again with more wanting. The mind never rests. A modern example. Think of scrolling through your phone, one video after another. Even before finishing one clip, your mind is already hungry for the next. Or consider the excitement of buying something new. The rush lasts for hours, maybe days. Then the object becomes ordinary, and the mind grows restless again. The Buddha was not telling us to renounce all pleasures, but inviting us to observe how desire controls the mind. Imagine you are carrying a cup filled to the brim. Every slight movement risks spilling it. The mind full of craving is like that, unstable, tense, ready to spill. The antidote the Buddha recommended is contentment and mindfulness of the body. In MN 10, he teaches that mindful breathing, mindful walking, mindful eating weaken desire, because mindfulness exposes craving's impermanence. When you clearly see the shape of desire, it loses its magic. To understand desire is not to suppress it, it is to see through it. Vyapada, ill will. cited in MN 78, SN 46 Dhammapada. Ill will is not only anger, it includes irritation, judgment, dislike, resentment, bitterness, even the quiet wish that things or people were different. The Buddha compared anger to holding a burning ember, preparing to throw it at someone, but burning yourself first. Think of a moment when someone hurt you, maybe with words, maybe with a decision, maybe unintentionally. The event itself lasted minutes, but the resentment can last months or years. Anger imprisons us long after the bird has flown. Modern life gives many examples. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You replay the incident for hours. A coworker disrespects you. You script a dozen imaginary conversations. A friend forgets your message. You feel hurt and withdraw. Anger arises when reality refuses to match our expectations. But the Buddha offered powerful medicine, goodwill, metta, not forced niceness, but a softening of the heart. In the Dhammapada, he said, "Hatred is never conquered by hatred. Hatred is conquered by love." This doesn't mean you let others harm you. It means you learn to protect your peace. Anger cannot survive close observation. When you watch it, its heat, its tension, its movement, it begins dissolving on its own. Thina Mida, sloth and torpor, cited in Majjhima Nikāya 46. This hindrance is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean laziness. It means the heaviness of mind, dullness, lack of clarity, sleepiness, low energy. Meditation becomes foggy. Thoughts slow down. Awareness collapses. The Buddha compared this state to water covered in moss. Light cannot enter. In modern life, this appears as mental exhaustion from overstimulation, burnout from constant multitasking, emotional fatigue from endless social comparison, sleep problems caused by stress, the numbness after too much screen time. Many people think this hindrance is a personal failure, but the Buddha simply saw it as a natural pattern. He recommended several antidotes: bringing attention to the breath with more energy, opening the eyes, straightening the posture, practicing walking meditation, reflecting on inspiring teachings, or simply resting when the body truly needs rest. Mindfulness means knowing when the mind is dull and meeting it wisely. Uddhaka Kukucha, restlessness and remorse, cited in Myanmar 20 and Dhammapada. This hindrance is extremely common in today's world. Restlessness is the mind's inability to stay still. It jumps from thought to thought, planning, worrying, replaying, imagining. Imagine a monkey jumping from branch to branch, never satisfied. That is restless mind. Remorse is its twin, regret over past actions, guilt, self-criticism. The Buddha said remorse arises when we act out of alignment with our values. But once acknowledged and learned from, remorse should be released, not carried forever. In daily life, restlessness appears as thinking of tasks while trying to meditate, replaying conversations, worrying about opinions of others, anxiety that something bad might happen, inability to sit quietly for even a minute, obsession with productivity, fear of being unoccupied. Restlessness is often fueled by the belief that something is missing. But as the Buddha emphasized in the Vitakkasanthana Sutta, the mind can be trained to calm down through repeated, gentle returning to the breath or object of meditation. The antidote is tranquility, cultivated through continuous mindfulness. Vicikiccha, doubt, cited in Men 10 SN 46. Doubt is not healthy curiosity. It is the fog that prevents commitment, clarity, and peace. It is the voice that whispers, "Is this practice really working? Am I capable of change?" What if I'm doing this wrong? Maybe the Buddha's path isn't for me. What if enlightenment is impossible? The Buddha called this hindrance a thorn in the mind. When doubt dominates, the mind cannot go forward. It becomes paralyzed between choices. He distinguished between wise doubt and unwise doubt. Wise doubt investigates and asks sincere questions. Unwise doubt keeps the mind in confusion and fear. A modern example: someone tries meditation for a week. The mind is busy. They conclude this doesn't work and quit. This is doubt sabotaging effort. The Buddha recommended wise reflection and seeking guidance because doubt often dissolves when the mind receives clarity. The antidote to doubt is confidence born from understanding, not blind belief. How the hindrances work together. The hindrances do not arise in isolation. Often they fuel one another. Desire leads to restlessness. Restlessness leads to exhaustion. Exhaustion leads to dullness. Dullness leads to doubt. Doubt leads back to wanting something else. Wanting leads to frustration and anger. They form a cycle that keeps the mind spinning. The Buddha emphasized that recognizing them is already the beginning of freedom. In MN10, mindfulness of the hindrances is itself a meditation practice. One knows when a hindrance is present, how it arose, how it can be abandoned, and how it does not arise again. This awareness transforms obstacles into opportunities. The lake and the moon. One of the most beautiful metaphors from the Buddha compares the mind to a lake and wisdom to the full moon. When the hindrances are present, the lake is disturbed and the moon's reflection wavers. But when the water becomes still, the moon appears clearly. In the same way, wisdom is always present, but the hindrances distort perception. Calming them is not about suppressing the mind. It is about allowing the natural clarity underneath to emerge. Let's apply the teaching to common situations. When your mind is overwhelmed with desire, you see a new device online. You want it intensely. Pause. Notice the feeling in your chest. Notice the pressure of wanting. Does the object contain happiness, or does the wanting create agitation? When anger arises, a colleague criticizes you. Heat rises. Before responding, take one breath. Feel the anger in your body. Notice that the anger is not you. It is a passing storm of conditions. When dullness arises, you sit to meditate after a long day, and the mind collapses into heaviness. Instead of forcing alertness, try walking meditation, or wash your face, or take 5 mindful breaths with your eyes open. When restlessness arises, your mind jumps from task to task. Try naming the state. Restless, restless. Observe how the breath becomes shallow. Gently extend the exhale. Feel the ground under your feet. When doubt arises, you wonder if meditation is working. Recall a moment of calm or clarity you felt before. Remember that the Buddha himself experienced doubt before awakening. Let the doubt be present without believing its story. These small practices create profound shifts over time. The Buddha's compassionate approach in all the suttas. The Buddha never condemned the hindrances. He simply acknowledged them with complete honesty. He taught that all beings, monks, householders, meditators, kings, wanderers, experience them. Even the great disciples spoke openly about their struggles. The Buddha's method is gentle. See clearly. Understand deeply. Let go naturally. This is the heart of the path. As we reach the end of this teaching, imagine once again the Buddha sitting beneath the Bodhi tree. The roots reach deep into the earth. The branches spread wide across the sky. Around him, the world continues its dance. Birds calling, leaves falling, winds shifting. But his mind rests in stillness. The 5 hindrances are simply the winds of the mind. They may blow strongly or softly, but they do not define you. They do not limit your potential. They do not prevent awakening. They are part of the path, not obstacles to it. When you see desire clearly, it releases its grip. When you see anger clearly, it cools. When you see dullness clearly, the mind brightens. When you see restlessness clearly, it settles. When you see doubt clearly, confidence arises. This is the miracle of mindfulness. This is the power of wisdom. This is the freedom the Buddha discovered and shared with all beings. May you walk this path with courage. May you recognize the hindrances with gentleness. May your mind become like a still lake, reflecting the moon of wisdom clearly. And may the Buddha's teachings continue to guide your steps toward liberation.